Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are.
K&K Crochet.
And I don't mean to be yelling, but I'm trying to be louder. Number one, allergies have got me going. So you're going to hear that a lot. And number two, the air conditioner's going because it's hot.
We're officially in air conditioning weather.
We are officially in. You're going to hear that for till September weather.
September last year was hot though.
So it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. So today, nothing I'm willing to do about it because I don't want to sweat.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with sweating, but you know what I'm
Not
saying.
for us.
I don't want to burn up. How about that? So today we're going to show you a new friend. She got floppy ears and a floppy head. Not too bad. So this is the elephant. See her eyes. This is the elephant from Miss C's cottage tutorial that she's been showing everybody. And this is I want to say a G hook. I can't, yeah, because I was thinking she turned out kind of small compared to the Sun Bunny that I made. But this is a G hook. This is Premier Just Fun. Is that what it is?
Just yarn.
Just Yarn. Thank you. Premier Just Yarn in the color slate. And the ears and the little toenails are Ferris Wheel Evergreen, I believe is the color. And the green portion of the ears is double-stranded because it's such a thin yarn. I think it says it's a 4, but it's not a 4. It is somewhere between a 3 and a 4, but leans more towards the 3. So I just thought in order to get it, and you can't even really tell the colors. I don't know why it's doing that. This lighting is horrible. But in order to get it the way I needed it to be thick enough, I had to do 2. And I actually had to make 3 ears because because the ears are 2 pieces, the front and the back together. And in order to get these 2 to match in any way, shape, or form at all, I had to do 3. Because one of them I did was a darker green, and I didn't want this to be a dark green. I want it to be that pretty tealy color that you see in there. So this is a teal. It doesn't show up right, but it's a teal color, and then it goes to kind of like a light, almost a neon looking kind of really bright green. So both of the ears kind of have those two colors combined. I just pulled from 2 separate, maybe that's better, from 2 separate pieces of a ball that I had, because this is yarn that, the green is yarn I was given a year or 2 ago, I don't know. And if you remember, I think a year, because I made the big tall Christmas hats with it. And those were for me to keep because it was from a friend. And this was part of what I had left. So I worked on and made the ears, and like I said, double-stranded the ears. Everything else is a single strand, and it worked out okay. I was worried that it would mess with the ears, and make them
Distorted.
yeah.
Like not be big enough.
And I was afraid it would pull when I put the gray with it, and it did kind of, but it worked out okay. She looks fine. Her trunk is actually supposed to go up higher. It's supposed to set right here, I think, according to Miss C. And when I tried to do that and was working on it, I thought that doesn't look right. It looks like it's in her eyes. I wish I'd have listened. I know Miss C knows better than I do, because now I think it looks like a duck bill. I'm like, it looks like a duck and not an elephant. But it is what it is, and there's her little floofy tail. I think I sewed it on wrong and did it wrong too, but guess what? It's my interpretation. It looks good enough for me, and she is not staying with me. She's going to a very special friend and gonna live her life there instead of with me. So I think she's cute enough. It's the thought that counts, right? She kind of reminds me of, and it's totally not intentional, so it's not like I was trying to do that, but she kind of reminds me of the elephant from Misfit Toys on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No.
On the island of Misfit Toys. She kind of, I don't know if it's the facial features or what, but she kind of reminds me of that. And I did not have a dark color yarn to do the slits across the nose that represent the wrinkles. So I used one that I thought was a little lighter, but you really can't tell it's even there most of the time. But It's all good. She's all good. She is very cute, I think. She is labor intensive. If you don't like to sew lots of parts on, then she may not be for you, but in the long run I can say she's well worth sewing the parts on. And I will say I have talked and talked and talked about how I hate to sew parts on, and Miss C's like, KK, maybe you need to go look at this or this to figure out. And I didn't go look, but I watched Miss C this time for the first time sew in the arms instead of sew on the arms. So let me explain the difference. Sewing them on means you complete all of this first and then you sew them onto the body. Sewing them in means you complete the body, and before you sew the head on, you sew the arms onto the body on, like,
In the crease.
no, you sew it before the head is attached to the body. To sew arms into an amigurumi piece, you would complete the body, leave the head part, the body part open, sew your arms onto that last round of the body, and then continue on and either crochet your head on or sew your head on, however your pattern works. I'm not going to tell you how this pattern works. Go watch the video and figure it out, right? So I actually watched Miss C and sewed my arms into the body instead of onto the body. And I love the way they look. You can't even tell they're sewn. I mean, because the problem I have with sewing them onto the body, it's not that I cannot do it. I can do it. It always turns out looking janky to me. Like, I will have this big, like if they were here, I would have this big ridge where they were sewn on. And my fingers are fiddly, and trying to get things to look right, it just looks janky. I mean, it's got a seam, and I don't like the seam on the animal. I want it to be, to flow. And when you do these and you sew them into the body, you don't have that. And the arms actually look like they're where they're supposed to be instead of being down here, way below the head. I really, really love the sewing into the body, or into the top of the body, into sewing them as you go instead of sewing them on afterwards. And if I can modify any amigurumi I have to do from now on, which, let's be real, I do a lot of no-sew amis because I like those. Even though I think you sacrifice some of the, what am I trying to say? Some of the aesthetics of an amigurumi when you do a no-sew because, it's little bobble stitches for arms and feet and all that kind of stuff. I do like them though because they're easy. But usually the ones I do are smaller, and most of the no sews are smaller. So it's nothing against no sew. If you do those, please don't come at me in the comments. I love them. I think it's great. I love what you do. They have their place and they're gorgeous. And I do more of those than I do these because I do think they're cute. But I do wish that there was a way where we could have, this kind of look with the no sew, and that's what this is. It's basically, I mean, yes, you're sewing it onto the body, but you're not like into the body. I'm saying it wrong again. You're sewing it in with your stitches, but you're not having to push through all of this and sew it on and sew it on afterwards, and you get bulk. Here, that's what I'm trying to say. There's no bulk here. Their shoulders are flat. There's no bulk. It's just arms, and you can't tell. Like, you literally, unless you look super, super close, you can't even tell where it was sewn in at all. And I love this look. I think it's cute. And it's not because I did it. She's just cute. I like this pattern. I love her little green toenails. So, question in the description, or I say it every time. In the comments below, who do you think she's for? She's going to bring joy to somebody else, not me. She's going to somebody else's craft room. So, who's she for? Huh? 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 Who gets her? Tell me. Tell me down below. We hope you have a great day. Don't forget to be kind because
You don't know anybody else's journey.